Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm excited to share with you something that I believe is good for your business, is good for you to sort of analyze and look at how your business is performing, but also be able to strategize for the future and the progress and the opportunities that you can take advantage of. So today we'll be majorly talking about SWOT analysis, and this is under the series that we'll be doing about studying your competition, because for you to succeed in any business, you definitely have to understand what your competition is doing. You have to understand how that affects your business and how you can win back their clients that you share until you have a sizable market share where you can compete comfortably. And this is a concept that was built by Albert Humphrey in 1966. And Albert Humphrey is a renowned US management consultant who we believe we can rely on as information from him. And also he has done work that has outlived him, and people have sort of built on these concepts to build even concepts that are more applicable in our day-to-day here and now in the 21st century. So this SWOT analysis starts at stage one, and stage one is where you analyze your company's position. So, and analyzing your company's position means that your company has internal factors and external factors, and both of which you have control over, and little bits and pieces of these you don't have control over. Under internal factors, you always have your strengths and your weaknesses. And as soon as you know what you're weak at and what you're strong at, you know where to put the focus. Under the external factors, you have opportunities and threats. This is very self-explanatory. Now, under internal factors, which are the strengths and weaknesses, like I already mentioned, it can be something like the experience and expertise of your senior management team. If your team has been in the field longer, they have studied how the market works, they have clearly understood the dynamics around the nature of your business and your product, it is usually an advantage because they know how to play it out, and they know what the target audience wants and what their consumer behavior is like. So this is usually a big strength or weakness. If you have an experienced senior management team, it becomes a strength. If you have one that is inexperienced and is new to the field, it becomes a weakness. So this is one area for you to study. Then area number two is the skill set of your workforce. It is one thing for a workforce to be experienced, but it is another for them to have the skill to apply in this modern day and age. Because if they can't apply the skill and get the work done, there is no point in having the experience. But usually having experience means you will have the skill because you have done the work. So that is another area where you assess yourself, the skills of your workforce. Again, it can become a weakness, it can also become a strength depending on what it is like. Three is your product quality. If this is as simple as if you have a good product, you have more advantages, and that's a strength. If you have a bad product, it is a weakness, and you have to always work on improving that product, because you need to know that your product competes favorably or your product actually sucks in the market. So you go back and assess if it's a strength or a weakness. Number four is about your financial muscle and your health in financial terms, because if, for example, someone can choose to, let me see which example. If you have kind of amortize, for example, your installation cost and you're like an internet service provider, you'll very easily be able to get the installation cost, fit it in the price, and a product that would ordinarily be 100K will be 130, but you won't be able to charge your clients, for example, 500,000 of installation cost. And over time, that extra 30,000 will become money that can now cover the installation cost and will still be charged over and above throughout the lifetime of the client. So when you're able to use that financial muscle to amortize the cost, you end up making more money long term. But if you're not able to have the financial muscle to amortize the cost, you'll definitely charge it as the installation cost, and it will be a one-off, and it might also hinder your retail and acquisition. So this again can become a strength, it can also become a weakness as a result. Then lastly, your brand strength. If your brand has been known, for example, if Apple has been known as the phone with the best cameras, that's it. Everyone, even if Samsung makes the best cameras in one of the series and it's better than the iPhone camera, everyone already has the preconceived notion of it's iPhone with the best camera. So that brand strength also pushes your product. So you have to also focus on that. And also doing this analysis, you have to understand if your brand strength and visibility is a strength or a weakness. That way you understand where you need to focus. And now going on to the external factors, these are also very important. There is usually number one, which is the market growth. And under market growth, there can be a lot of phases. If, for example, you entered the market and you are the only person who are providing that service and you are providing it very well, one of my mentors usually says that diamonds and forever. He started a business in the pallet business where you make pallet furniture and like rent it out for events. And when he joined that business, he was the only person doing that particular business in that area. But now, these many years later, the competition has come with more capital and bigger revenues, and they're able to build pallets and furniture in that like pallet business for like 10 events at a go. So when he was competing alone, he was alone. So he had all the money to himself. But now when other big players came into the market, which is the market growth that we are talking about, his business was, to say the least, kicked out of business because the market grew. He created the awareness and people picked it up. So market growth can become an opportunity in that case when you're joining and when you have the advantage of being the first person to start. But it can become a threat because when you start, you have to beware that miles ahead people will join you. Then second is the new technology, because as we grow, as our businesses grow, there is new technology that comes in. Right now there is this very interesting conversation going on around AI and how AI is going to take your jobs and my job and everyone else's job. But you realize that if you look at the opportunity in AI and actually understand how AI can make your business better and make your job better, you will definitely end up being a better person and delivering better service simply because you have understood how the new technology works. So new technology becomes an opportunity at some point and becomes a threat if you do not pay attention to it. So while you do your SWOT analysis, you look at that in that angle as well. Then number three, what are your barriers to market entry? When you think about your business and the product that you're launching and the space and country in which you're launching it, you always have to understand what the barriers to entry are. And those barriers can become opportunities because you can innovate around them. Also, they can become threats because they can kick you out of business and you lose the strategy that you have formed. Second last is the overseas sales potential, and that can be simply put as scaling in the startup world. So when you start a business, you have to think about how you will grow, because if you don't factor that in, when you grow too fast, you'll end up crashing. But also when you don't grow at all, you'll end up being like Nokia. So you have to find the balance of how do I scale, how do I grow, but also keep within the confines of what I can handle. You buy just enough that you can chew, but you can't say, "No, I won't buy it at all." So scaling and the overseas sales potential can become a threat. It can also become an opportunity. You get to choose, you get to make those changes. And lastly, the change in customer demographics and preferences. I'm very sure a lot of you guys have heard about this word, Gen Z. And actually, just so you know, there is another one coming, what is called Gen Alpha. I actually don't know if it is this alpha or the technical alpha in mathematics. But Gen Alpha is coming, Gen Z is now the theme on the block. So when there are changes in the customer demographics, you start to tailor your product towards that, because now if you're in any business and it does not cover the Gen Z at any point, then you're actually very exposed. Anything can happen. Those guys can get frustrated one day, take you to Twitter, you'll trend once, and you'll never come back because you'll be for the bad reason. So the change in customer demographics at this point in particular can become a threat, it can become an opportunity. So while you do your SWOT analysis, you have to really understand and factor in all these external factors alongside these internal factors to fully have a bigger picture of where you're going and why you're going there, and what is in there in terms of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and lastly, your threats. And as we come to the close, let us look at some of the advantages of going through all this work. Because you might think, I mean, I'm just a startup. Why do I need to do all this work and all this research and sit down with my team for hours and hours when you could be in the field making money? Why do we need to do this much work? Advantage number one is that it will enhance your strategic planning, because there is a guy who was asked how long he would, if he was given an hour, how long he would use to sharpen the axe versus cutting the tree. Said he would use around 40 minutes sharpening the axe and go out to cut when you can cut in 20 or less, rather than using a very blunt axe and you're cutting you're not covering ground. So strategic planning in this sense is a very big key thing, and then it will help you in decision making. For example, if you know there is an opportunity in future, but that product does not have to be launched now, it is easy for you to have a discussion with your board with statistics about why this is a decision that you can hold, or why this is a decision, for example, to not launch a product, why the product won't work, for example, for the Gen Z. You'll have done the analysis, and it will help your decision making rather than just relying on assumptions. And then three, this will help you understand your unique sales proposition, and that is majorly your strength and also part of the opportunities, and that will help you know, my competitor is pushing this, what do I have that is different that I can push? And then the changes to minimize threats. When you know what your threats are and you look at your opportunities, you'll be able to make changes and refine your strategy to know that, yes, I can be exposed here, but I'm protected in this way. Like you have a backup plan, what we call plan B. And then lastly, you would understand the opportunities ahead. You'll understand that much as I might not be able to break even in the first 90 days or the first 6 months or the first year, you can project with pinpoint accuracy and understand that after the first year I'll be able to make money, I'll be able to do business. That is important for you to understand that from the get-go. I hope that was informative and helpful for your business. I hope it helps you become a better business person. Continue to like and subscribe and comment on how we can continue to engage in this conversation, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.